Alright, we are live. Can anyone watching hear us? Is everything running fine? Say something.
Well, there's 6 people right now.
Whoever is watching, can you hear us? Yeah, let me just get this formality out of the way. Make sure everything is running right. Should be running, right? I just want to check with my phone already.
Yeah, it's running.
Nobody reply me, man.
Stream looks alright.
Maybe on mute.
It's not muted.
Oh, no, maybe they are on mute.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're on
Yeah. But I just typed in the chat, but no one replied.
they're like on the train, on the
Yeah,
bus on the way
Mm.
home.
Benjamin.
No. Oh, yes or no? I can. Rolling or not?
Ayo, Chia Hui, why like that, Chia Hui?
Yahweh, why you like that?
Why you like that?
Can hear.
Yeah. Thanks.
Alright. Welcome
Is that
everybody.
Alvin?
Yeah, that's Alvin Wong. Welcome everybody to our first podcast, Fabbing Together, episode 1. So welcome to my channel.
Are you using a wired connection?
I'm using white. Okay, we're back. Okay, so
Alright.
once again, thank you all for joining us for our first podcast. Okay, so this is Fabbing Together. It's my new channel, so the Runedogs. So today I'm joined with my co-host Shan. As most of you should know Shan, the very famous Shan, and of course our special guest today is the almighty Ruben the Church. Welcome.
Not sure how my name. Thanks for inviting me here.
Thanks
It's
both.
great to be here.
Thanks both of you for joining us.
Yeah,
So
no worries.
if you think about it, we are actually less than 48 hours from Monarch pre-release for Singapore. Literally less than 48 hours.
Yeah,
So-
I think
How y'all feeling about?
we might be one of the earliest after New Zealand, if I'm not wrong. New Zealand, Australia.
Yeah, normally we celebrate New Year's Day before them also lah. So.
After,
And after them, they celebrate
After
New
them.
Year's before us. That's right.
3 hours. 2 to 3
I'm
hours.
2 to 3
super
hours.
excited. I just can't wait to open some packs. Hopefully get some cold foils.
So how many pre-release events have you guys managed to secure?
Wow, that's a good question. About 5?
5?
Yeah, I have 6 lined up.
5 to
That's
6.
about
Huh?
it.
That's quite a lot. I myself, I just got confirmed with Card Nation. So for whoever is watching and you attempted to do the Card Nation exam
My God, the quiz.
the exam quiz, I think they are messaging the results now. So fortunately, I passed my exam. Managed to count how many times Gino said cheating. So I secured the Friday midnight slot. So whoever is going on Card Nation Friday midnight slot, I was.
We may have a quiz asking whether how many aircon does Travis have.
Oh, no. Okay, so
That main
excluding
big set.
Crucible of War, which was a supplement
Yeah,
set.
that's the supplementary.
So this is our new big expansion. It's also the first expansion after the real boom of Flesh and Blood, am I right? Because Flesh and Blood
Yeah,
kind of like really
definitely.
exploded around late last year.
Because of COVID.
Yeah,
because
it
of
actually
COVID.
exploded. Yeah, COVID. It actually exploded right after a couple of months, I think, after Crucible was released. Then you see all the prices, really taking a huge spike after that. Yeah,
And then this expansion, we are getting more and more coverage and recognition from like very big streamers like Totalion, the community college and stuff like that, where the professor just made new video. So he's kind of like converting more Magic players, and we can even see in our Singapore Facebook group, WhatsApp group, more and more people joining us.
yeah,
So I think it's going to be a very big thing soon, hopefully.
definitely.
Alright, so let's jump into it, guys. So far, I think we are done with spoilers. LSS has stopped giving out spoilers already. We are, I think, about 80% of the card pool. We have seen about 80% of the card pool. Right? Am I right? I think we are about 80% in. So how are you all
I believe
feeling?
we
Like,
have.
what do you like seeing so far?
Oh. Surprisingly, we don't have a L for
Am I right?
2. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
one is one light and one generic, I suppose. If it follows that sequence.
It should be one light and one illusionist. One light.
Awesome.
And one.
Yes, I don't think there's any generic ones.
Hey, hi Dan, hi Wei Kong. That's Andre, right? Hi Aloysius. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we have two legendaries down. So we have 3 shadows, one of which is the
Yeah.
generic shadow of the husk, and then we have the Rune Blade and the Brute, but they are kind of labeled as shadowed for some reason, even though they are specialized.
Mm. Yeah.
Which is very weird. I don't know why they
And
did that.
yeah. And for Light Warrior, we have the Valiant Dynamo, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was spoiled from our own Singapore.
Yeah,
Play.
Bricks Play.
That was quite
It's
fun.
a huge spoiler right there. You know,
I think
very powerful equipment.
no one expected Big Play to get a legendary to spoil.
Yeah, but I mean, it's cool. You know, it shows that, you know, they don't really care who or what you are. They just, everybody gets a fair shot at it. It's nice. Yeah.
I mean, for everyone who doesn't know or didn't or were not part of the Monarch spoilers, our special guest here, Ruben, actually spoiled one of the cards for
Yes.
on behalf of Max Strength, right?
Yeah, Max Strength.
The warrior card, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, the Express Lightning. It's a warrior action. Pretty sweet card.
It's a cost of 0. And
Yeah. It's a 4 attack for the on the red pitch. Yeah. Definitely gonna see some play in limited. Not sure about constructed. I think it's decent. Yeah.
But from the video that we saw on the those pre-made decks, right? The lightning that card actually looks pretty good. Express Lightning actually looks pretty useful for getting cards installed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And for Bolton's ability, you can actually gain 1+1
Mhm.
if you charge this turn. So he has +1. So for the red pitch, it's actually gonna be a +5. So 5 damage going into you. Yep. And then he has an attack reaction as well. I can go again with a 0 cost.
Yeah. Bolton is looking quite strong for coming out strong for this turn, to be honest. What are your opinions on him actually? His mentor his mentor actually looks quite strong. Did I not save the mentor? So the mentor gives the weapon +1 attack, 3 swings.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
So it's just +1. So if essentially, if the weapon does 2 damage +1, so it's a 4. That sweet spot that you want to have when you want to hit someone. Don't know whether they want to block everything or just block with 1 card.
I in general, the mentors are pretty solid. You know, Bolton's one is one of them. The fact that they are not tied down to one specific hero, so you know, makes a lot of. I think it opens up a lot of deck building options. Yeah.
Do you think
there's some awesome
this
ones as
this style of play will see Kasai will see more play? Because she seems really good for Kasai, right? Or Centauri Saber play style.
Yeah, because the Courage of Blade Hole actually only works with swords.
Oh, maybe not Kasai though,
Access.
because the mentor actually pulls out a specialization card and Kasai doesn't have one. So maybe
She doesn't.
Bolton with this and by using Centauri Sabers might be pretty fun combo actually.
Yeah, that's possible. That's a possibility. Yeah.
But it's amazing to see that Courage of Blade Hole went up to like 200 USD, and then they came out with access, and then now it's like everyone doesn't know what to do with this idea. Like, okay, I can't use my Courage of Blade Hole with access anymore. So what am I supposed to do? So is the price going up or going down? We don't know. Don't know for sure.
Yeah, but they don't have to use the X, right? They can use like I said, the Centauri Sabers actually works very
definitely.
well in that format.
Yeah, so we're gonna see a bit of change there. Maybe people not gonna use the Courage of Blade Hole, maybe using something else as that piece to be the tunic,
Yeah,
because that's the
maybe
replacement.
Yeah.
Good tunic, always reliable.
That sounds fair enough. I always say warrior deck very expensive. Yeah, like Shan just mentioned, coverage of Blade Hole, $200. Braveforge braces are going up in price as well after the minute the Light Warrior was announced. The Braveforge from like $120 flew up to like what 180 now, somewhere there.
It's about 200. I just traded mine for a Mask Momentum, so that's really insane.
And then if you want to
Getting a lot of
go,
value.
you want to go and get the boots, the new legendary boots.
Yeah,
And
go
then-
for some more.
Go for
Valiant.
it, and then
Yeah.
if you wear your Arcanite skull cap, you're like, just the equipment alone will cost you $2,000, almost around there, without even having the deck yet.
Attacks,
Mhm.
but Bolton has the attack actions, and he can also do weapon
That's true.
attacks.
Yeah,
So it's a bit of mix.
he can go
So
pretty
the-
wide, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, he can go pretty wide, and he can actually add more damage onto you if you are not worthy of his your defense. Like, oh, I'm not gonna block. Okay, that's it. It's gonna whack you up and upside down.
Then you tow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be. Yeah, I think he's gonna play pretty similar to the more aggressive IRA versions. They have less defense. Defense reactions. He doesn't want to go all in, and especially with the Valiant Dynamo.
Actually, while we
I
are
think-
on this topic, right, we only have one defense reaction from this set so far.
The
In
rise above.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's the
Right,
only
so the-
that's the only
Yes.
defense reaction this set
Yeah.
so far,
Yes.
which is very interesting. Especially in a sealed and draft format.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess in when you think about maybe for constructed and display,
Mhm.
the previous sets have given us quite a fair number. So I think maybe that was their consideration
Hmm.
for LSS, that there's really a suit of very strong defense reactions, and let's just go for the face this time with the new cards.
Yeah, even speaking about that, I was having this discussion about the armor, like the generic armor for this set. So for WTR we had Iron Rod, right? And then for
Yeah.
Arcane Rising we had now Rune. So for this set, the new piece of equipment set is Spell Void.
Yep.
Which is effectively Iron Rod but for magic.
Yep.
So it's a one-time use to block X amount of magic.
Yeah.
So I personally find them a bit funky. I can see them more in aggressive decks where you don't want to trade tempo of like pitching to block arcane. But
Yeah.
it's like a one-time use. And then if you use it and then you don't kill your opponent soon, all the arcane is going to be like free flow into your face.
So there was a discussion
It's gonna
about
see
the
play in
equipment, right?
blitz.
Yeah. No, so there was a discussion just now about equipment, right? So most of us, when we break our equipment, we just leave it in the equipment slots. But technically, once the equipment breaks, you have to put it into the
Discard pile.
graveyard. Yeah. So that works really well with Brute because you have to discard 3 cards as an additional cost. So it might or might not be banished. Okay, so that works a bit differently. So people will ask you, oh, you mean I have to go and sleeve my deck the same way with my equipment? Maybe only for the Shadow Brute.
Yeah.
Maybe the rest not so much.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. So imagine you shuffle the Tunic inside. Yes, that'll be great.
Yeah, but
Cool.
we've seen from the video the Bolton versus Levia video that actually
Yeah.
manipulation of your gear in this card pile is actually can be beneficial and can be detrimental. So that's I think where some players have to be careful. So if you add it, you might dilute it, and then when you banish the 3 random cards, you might whiff and then you miss your 6 attack card. Well, but like if you only have 2 cards in this card pile and one of it is 6 attack, you can force to break a piece of armor, get it in, and then you can trigger the 3 discard pile banish zone requirement. Yeah, so I think that's quite fun.
Yeah. So at least you got more damage gets into your banish zone, then you lose blood debt. So I think that's great. So you wouldn't want to break too many pieces of armor at the same time, and it might affect your probabilities as well.
Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about some of the stuff that we enjoy so far from Monarch. I'm pretty sure we did a bit of homework, so we all have like a X amount of cards that we would like to talk about, like personally. So let's start with our special guest Ruben, and I'm pretty sure it's the hottest card that everyone is talking about right now.
Okay.
Let me pull that up for you, sir. It is Prism.
Very light-hearted.
So Prism is our new hero, a new faction, entirely new hero class for Flesh and Blood. So she's a illusionist with the tagging of light. What's the thing they called?
Talent.
The talent. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the talent is
we have light and shadow right now for talents.
So the new mechanic for Flesh. We have a lot of new mechanics for Flesh and Blood. We have like talent system of light and shadow.
Yeah.
We have like the new
Souls.
and playing
Charge
from
and all that.
Banish, Charge, Phantasma and stuff like that.
Phantasm,
Phantasm.
Spectral, and Blood Debt.
Yeah, we have a lot of new stuff. So it can be quite overwhelming, I think, at the start. I'm pretty sure during the pre-release sealed format, a lot of us are going to be, Wait, what?
Really? Can you do
Yeah,
this? No, are you
definitely a lot
sure?
of questions.
So Ruben, we'd like to start off talking
Yeah.
about Prism.
Yeah, I mean, Prism, a lot of not new players, a lot of players now saying, besides Shiana, there's a new queen in town, and yep, it's Prism. First thing I think that's really interesting, it's a once per turn instant, so you can do it both on your turn, your opponent's turn,
Mhm.
and it's actually I think very deceptively powerful. You can banish a card from a soul to create a spectral shield, so you can do it on your opponent's end step after they've hit you with their attacks and all that if you want to build up for follow-up turn. So I think design wise, card alone, she has some amazingly powerful attack actions as well as her instant auras. I think those are fantastic. So can't wait to see how she shakes up the meta game. Yeah. I'm super excited. I hope to have some Prism decks to play during the sealed release.
And you mentioned that you can use it on your opponent's turn. So imagine that they already
Yep.
did your damage and stuff like that, and then Prism comes in and banish a card from her soul, and then next turn during her turn she has aura there, and using her own orb, right?
Yeah, the Iris.
The Iris of reality or something like that.
Iris of
Yeah.
reality.
Iris of reality.
You
That
get
aura.
a pitch for 4 attack. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
One
And
of the cool parts about her hero power as well, is because of the instant effect of blocking one, right? So
Yeah.
how often have you found yourself, especially like against like a Ira or Dorinthia, where they suddenly just pump up one damage, or like they come at you at like CNC 7, and then you block at 6, which is awkward. So
Yeah.
she gives you the flexibility of suddenly adding one more block. I mean, it is expensive. You're pitching two and remove and banishing a card from school, but you have that option to just pull out one extra block out. Okay.
yeah, because
Yeah.
some of her cards are
Yeah,
instants. You see,
definitely.
no block,
Yeah,
no
her auras
defense.
are.
No auras. I mean, no blocks. So maybe she can just pitch those right now, and then she just use it to block just one or two, just to sustain for that beginning stage. And towards the end stage, she's a mid game player. I think she's gonna hit you hard for like mid game, and then we see what happens at end game. Yeah.
I mean, I believe it. Like, when you move towards the later part of the games, her auras probably become more powerful. Be able to play them at the end of your opponent's end step. Catch them off guard, or even catch them on a huge swing, where you just end their attack on the spot, stuff like that. Could be really format defining.
Yep. And a lot of, I think what I find really interesting is the idea of an illusionist, right? So illusionist is like you want to scam people, right? Like you're like you are what you look like what you are not. So it's like all the illusions and a lot of scheming. So she looks on the surface like a control deck, right? Like
Yeah.
creating shields and like turns and
she can discard cards from your hand as well.
cards from your hand, interrupts.
Yeah.
But what took all of us by surprise was that a lot of her cards hit like a truck. Right? So I'm gonna pull out the card that is one of my favorites on this set, Phantasmaclasm, right here, bad boy.
Oh my god, very hard to pronounce it.
Phantasmaclasm. Right? So just look at it, it's 3 cost, 9 attack. It's like no one expected Prism to have cards that hit like a truck. Everyone when her card was Phantasmaclasm.
Okay, so Andre has a question. He's asking like, how much of a power creep is Prism? Does it make heroes with no 6 attack action cards less relevant? Yeah.
Personally, don't think it's a huge power creep. I mean, like, you're gonna fight. I mean, you just think about decks like Ira now. They have so much incremental advantage, even after the draw the line. That she's definitely powerful, but I think the play style is maybe a bit limiting. But that remains to be explored until we get our hands on the cards.
Yeah. I mean, if she doesn't have defense, like she's more aggro, right? So Ira can hit like small little attacks and she can't block it.
Yeah, like the Kodachis are going to be annoying.
Yeah, the Kodachis are going to be annoying. She's going to remove the auras. But at the same time, she's going to hit you back really, really hard. And Ira doesn't have 6 attack action to go and hit you back.
Only the
Yeah.
CNC.
She does have CNC. I think that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Before the drone ban.
Yeah. And Prism can also deal with the CNC because she has cards that make it one less damage or remove it from hand.
Yeah, and I think the note talking about CNC, is that Prism has a bunch of instances that she can just lay in Arsenal to bait out the Command and Conquers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that can be huge, I think. Yeah.
But what makes this particular card of Phantasmaclasm in the Illusionist Arsenal is its effect, because it is one first of its kind, right? Where you actually get to look at your opponent's hand.
Yeah, that's actually amazingly huge. I think.
Yeah, that's a very big thing. How often do you find yourself like, Palmer coming? Now you don't have to worry. You know whether the Palmer is in the hand. Or stuff
I mean, you can't see the arsenal, but at least you can see whatever is in the hand.
Yeah.
You can actually strategize. Okay, they're gonna pitch this. They're gonna play this. Okay, maybe they're gonna defend with this, so on and so forth. I think that's gonna be huge.
Yeah. And the potential is quite big because you get to see what's in their hand, and then you remove one of it, put it at the bottom of the deck, and then they draw one. Yeah. So you still lack one card information because they do draw one random card.
Yeah, but knowing 3 out of 4 is...
3 out of 4 is good enough. And then if we look at the debuff, it just shatters, right?
Yes.
So with Phantasmaclasm alone, you need at least 2 cards in hand with 6 attack and above, or you top deck it. Yeah. So there's a lot of control. This card alone, I've always thought it was bonkers the minute they released.
Yeah, I think it's interesting also to see how people will try to combat the initial presumed surge of Prism decks. People speculating that Brute and Warrior might be coming back into the fold because of they have quite a hefty number of six and above attacks.
I think you mean Guardian, not Warrior.
Yes, right? Sorry, Brute and Guardian. Yes.
So this deck. So far, all the Phantasm effects kind of like really bones the ninjas and the warriors because they don't really play 6 attack, and those 2 classes are kind of like the more popular ones in meta right now. So I think it's quite interesting to see if Prism does go overboard and just start slapping everyone. Will we see a rise?
Not to mention Wizard as well.
Wizard. Wizard
doesn't have any answers unless they start playing some Command and Conquers.
Which is quite silly considering a wizard keeps falling for illusion. Isn't he like kind of like...
Yeah, but I guess that turns the game into a huge race at times, especially in Blitz. I mean, the wizard has a very high damage cap, but the illusionist also can hit for quite a lot with just 1 card. So that will be interesting to see how it plays out.
And they can actually lose the Phantasm effect as well from her Dream Weavers. The gloves, the arms.
Yeah, her equipment is actually pretty good.
So it says the next illusionist attack action you can play this turn loses and can't gain. So if you
guaranteed slap.
So it's like you blank the Phantasm, and then if you play Phantasmify, and then they gain it. So this actually doesn't have. You just have the +5 effect from Phantasmify. So Phantasm doesn't actually happen. So like saying Command and Conquer for 11, maybe not.
Yeah.
So how many people in the chat are gonna play Prism actually?
Yeah.
Excluding chat, I think here alone, I don't know about you guys. I'm definitely signed up on the Prism train. Got my tickets ready and my luggage all packed. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you have a Prism Mirror, the Phantasm doesn't really apply because it's a non-illusionist
I think
action card. So it's like,
the Prism Mirror is gonna be damn funny. They're just like 2 like bookworms punching each other in the face.
I think it's gonna come down to a lot of resource management as well as how you stagger your attacks along with using your auras to attack. I think that's gonna really decide those matchups.
How you navigate through your auras.
Yes, because they can be used offensively as well, which is pretty good.
Yeah, the auras is also there's a new keyword for those who have not been following. So apart from the auras that she creates, there are actually other auras like Genesis, which is quite fun. So the auras have this keyword called Spectra, right? So all you need to do is you can target the cards, the auras themselves. All you need to do is target it, then they kind of like shatter, right? And then by doing so, they close the combat chain. So any attacks with go again loses that go because the whole thing just dissolves. Yeah. So it's a very interesting direction because her auras are weak against stuff like ninjas, right? Where they can just Kadachi and then your whole thing just poof.
Yes.
But then her big illusions like the Phantasmaclasm like go over them. So it's like a really interesting balance.
Yeah.
That's the strength and weakness of Prism.
And I think also important to note is that you can actually time when you want to use cards like Genesis.
Mhm.
You know, when they go Kodashi, you know, after the second one, when the second combat resolves, you can actually flash in or play instant speed Genesis,
Mhm.
and then they have to decide where their flying kick or where their E-strike goes. I think that will be very, very interesting because some of these cards are very powerful.
Yeah, but Genesis pays for 4, so you need to pitch 2.
That is true. Gonna see maybe a lot more E-potions being played.
Yeah, and then you need to put a card in your hand, so...
Or tuning tuning and a blue pitch then.
Yeah, but then again, it lets you draw back though if it's a light card. So that's not too bad actually. It's pretty decent.
It's not only that, because if you put a light illusionist card into your soul, you actually get both effects.
Yeah.
You draw the card and
you
create the token, both 2 in 1.
So that's pretty decent value.
That's a very good value.
I mean, you pay two resources for 1 card because her instant is 2, right? 2 to gain the spectral shield. Yep. So it's just a 2 pitch to go and draw a card.
And then if your opponents decide not to break it, you just pitch 3 and you slap them with the weapon.
Yeah. And if I'm reading this right, it's a start of turn effect. So you know, this lingers on. It could be a very incremental card advantage. You know,
and it's also
generating those tokens.
It's also an instant, so you can play at the end of your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
And then
so it's good.
You play an instant at the end of your opponent's turn. It comes in. They end their turn. You start your turn. You trigger. Little stuff like that. To fix the illusionist can.
Yeah. I mean, Kodachi can remove it. Mag Pistol can remove it. The rest would be a bit too costly, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and then I don't know how Wizard was going to play against this. Are they going to attack this or are they going to attack you?
Wizard can't even break a single illusion.
Yeah, because it's an attack. It needs to be attacked. So Wizard, you know, unless you start playing some attack actions.
Or the Jank. They're going to play CNC.
Who knows, man? Sideboard Talisha, just to fight Prism. Could be a thing.
Dentan is here, right? Dentan, our meme deck, like meme deck expert.
Deck brewer.
the deck brewer expert. Maybe he can create a wizard with attack action.
Who knows? Yeah. Talisha call for might see
Rifting.
A search.
Yeah, Rifting is actually a decent attack for a wizard.
Rifting actually isn't horrible, you know.
Alright, so enough of the light. Too bright.
Yeah.
Let's go to your second card, Ruben, which is Carrion Hearth.
Yep, super excited for this.
The fridge, we call it the fridge.
Oh no, now it's not fridge anymore. Now
this isn't
the
the fridge. This is like the whole, you know, those restaurants that ice room or whatever you call it at the back. That this is that. Yeah, so it's the shadow generic legendary. I think it speaks for itself. The chess piece locks for 6. There's huge downside, you know, when you defend with it, banish it when the combat shade closes, and if you have 13 or less health, you banish it as well. And but being able to withstand a command and conquer, I think in itself is just, this card will be seeing a lot of play, I feel, in the next half a year at least, until new cards come out. Yeah,
especially if Kingdom has more shadow characters.
Yeah, and I foresee that there will be.
Yeah, this is definitely.
Someone was saying like, oh look, we have Solana for the light, the Demonastery for shadow. Then what about Savage Lands? I think they just left it there with a question mark. So who knows? There could be even more different talents coming to play, stuff like that. Yeah. So anyway, back to Karen Haas. I'm 100% sure it's going to be played in the Shadow Brute as well as the Shadow Runeblade. So I don't see, unless there's a reason that they need resource from Tunic, stuff like that, this card should be the go-to. It should be the go-to equipment.
It helps to block against Prism actually. Prism, your Guardian, your other brutes. Yeah.
But I think this card is better for the Shadow Brute, because there can be an argument for Shadow Runeblade. Because Shadow Brute has a way to negate the blood depth from kicking in.
That is true.
That's Levia's ability. But because this is an equipment, it goes to your banish after you use it, or it gets like forced in. Chain doesn't have any way to like manipulate the Karen Husk.
Yeah, so the Karen Husk will always -1.
Yeah, it's like bobe zhao, I cannot escape, man.
Yeah. But the rest of it, I think he's enough pitches to actually use the blood to remove the blood debt from his banish zone.
Yeah.
What am I drinking? Andre asking what am I drinking.
Oh.
Sahi. You know,
Yeah.
I have to drink lah. I mean, what happened? Everyone know what happened this afternoon. Everyone was disappointed, so I'm drinking. Where's Chris? Chris supposed to be come and drink as well.
I mean, aside from the card and how powerful I think it will be, it has some really absolutely gorgeous art.
Yeah, this.
Can't imagine this in cold form.
No,
it's gonna be.
There's a video. The video reveal for this.
Yeah.
What's
Yes.
He showed the cold foil, right?
I think it was DM Amada.
Yeah, DM Amada. Yeah. He showed the
huge
cold foil.
YouTuber as well. Yeah.
LSS gave him a copy of the cold foil.
Cold foil. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That is nuts.
So how many of you hoping in the chat to get? So okay, we've seen 4 legendaries so far, right? Is it 4?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah. So cold foils aside, we have the 4 of them can be cold foils. The equipment majestics can be cold foils,
I believe so.
and the commons, the common equipments can be cold foils.
I think any equipment and weapon could be cold foil, and plus the new legendary specializations. Yeah.
They also be the first time we see non-equipment as cold foils. The specialization, Eclipse and Doomsday, right?
Yes, those two.
Apart from the promos for pre-release. Yeah. So we are starting to branch out the cold foils from non-equipment, which is gonna be cool.
Yeah, I think that's really cool though to have a legendary, like instance and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, because it's a way to give powerful effects to cards without making them like a necessary trade-off kind of thing of playset. And when you do draw that one copy of your tutor for it somehow, it is really that it can be really that backbreaking. But so there remains to be seen though. Yeah.
Right, let's move on to our next card from Shan.
Yep.
So since we are already on Karen Husk, let's move on to more brute stuff. Cause
brute.
Brute together strong.
Yeah, single also strong. No, not bad now.
Where's Jose? Jose is the brute.
All right, tear limb for limb. Okay, so I chose this card because you can play it for Rhina and KO, right? Or still for Livia. But then it has this ability to draw a card and then discard a random card. So when you discard this card, your next brute attack action card, you play +X. So if you discard like Massacre or Alpha Rampage, it's gonna be gonna be double your next attack action, or maybe +6, so like 15 damage coming your way. It's gonna be huge. Okay, and sometimes you can also intimidate, right? So you discard, and then you're gonna intimidate. So you're gonna intimidate again and again. So probably you can only block with one, or probably block with your equipment, which is obviously your Karen Husk if you're a shadow. But otherwise, it's gonna be something you're gonna think about and hold on into your arsenal. So your arsenal can never be your mentor. It must be something that is gonna be a defense reaction. Yeah, for sure.
I'm actually glad you brought up mentor, because the brute mentor actually goes very well with this card.
Is it?
Right? Okay, let me pull her out now. So the brute mentor is I'm not sure if the stream can see it, because they never really officially uploaded it. I don't think we can see it here. It's a bit blur. So what the brute mentor does is whenever you play an attack action card, banish the top card of your deck. If the banish card is 6 or more attack, your attack gains dominate. So this is the first time brutes are getting access to the dominate keyword. So
Crew
is the first time, but
crew had dominate as well.
Oh yeah, crew, okay. So but the thing is, if you do tear limb from limb and then you like chain it up with a dominate,
no, definitely.
it's gonna
like
be backbreaking.
intimidate and dominate.
And dominate.
Yeah, actually, at that point in time, you don't even need to intimidate. I think the dominate itself is just gonna blow away some decks,
I mean, if you use Livia, you can't intimidate, but dominate could be a very strong thing.
Yeah, and I foresee these two cards seeing play and
He'll tell him from him, I'm gonna roll a 6. Second turn, I don't know what's gonna happen. I think everyone's just gonna pack up and leave. I guess.
If you do
So,
that plus mentor, it's instant death, right? Almost
No, KO doubles the base
doubles,
attack,
right?
but that's still huge
okay,
lah. If
okay,
you
okay,
have
okay.
the tear limb from limb,
Mhm.
I mean, let's say you Alpha Rampage for 9 times 2.
Oh, you can't do
18.
that. Alpha Rampage is a Rhina thing.
Yeah,
So-
no, I was. Oh yeah, for
For KO,
Rhino.
for KO can't do that.
For KO, I guess CNC is not a bad choice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6. If you get a 6 off of the other card, you're hitting for around 18.
The new instances to reduce damage, there seems to be more mechanics to be dominant though. This is from Andre. So instance to reduce damage, that's the blinding light, right? That's the light spell. Alright, okay. What other cards actually reduces damage at the moment?
only the light instance,
We only have blinding beam, sorry, not light. Blinding beam. So this is a new light instant that I think Andre was trying to bring up. So it's a 1 cost light instant. So blinding beam costs 1 less to play if it's against a shadow card, and then the attacking or defending action gets -3 attack. Yeah, so I think that's what he meant. Am I
Technically, some Guardian cards also can minus if they crush,
right? Mm.
and also I think Ranger as well. For some abilities, they can minus off your damage.
Mhm.
So that's can. I mean, not 3, but 2 or 1. I think it's also quite enough for you to survive that
Mhm.
1 turn.
Yeah, but I think
yeah,
instant this could definitely be somewhat relevant.
Mhm.
See some blame in a meta, especially against a warrior.
Mhm.
Because this doesn't actually trigger reprise. So that's also pretty important.
Oh, but this doesn't affect warrior though, because it's an attack action.
Yeah.
So
Right.
so-
Okay.
yeah, so it can't
My
aff-
bad.
it can't
Yeah.
hit the weapon.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's like I think, but a lot of the main synergy a lot of people see with this card is for Prism,
Hmm.
right? Because this saves her Phantasma cards from breaking.
Yeah.
Because you can use it on the defending attack action.
Yes.
So there's the flexibility of this. You can use it defensively to take less damage, or you can use it offensively so that your illusions don't break. So there's quite a bit of flexibility in this card.
So
Quite cool.
Andre mentions reinforce the line. So it's like a target is an instant, generic instant for 0 cost. Target defending attack action card gains +4 for red pitch. For blue pitch is +2. So you can actually defend for a bit more. And somehow or other, some of the instants have a 0 cost, right? So I mean, you can't pump it up because it's attack action. But for brute, I think there's a 0 defense value, so maybe it can actually help you push that +4. Yeah.
Talking about brute, what's the next one?
The next one is actually Endless Maw.
Endless Maw. We are more. All of us clearly like the shadow more than the light for some odd reason. So this is Shan's next card.
Yep. Okay, so additional cost to play Endless Maw, banish 3 random cards from your graveyard. Okay, so apparently what we have been doing is actually quite wrong. So everyone's been playing equipments and then breaking the equipments and just placing it in the equipment slot. But actually your equipments need to be placed in the graveyard. So you can, what we mentioned earlier is that these 3 cards that's going to be banished from your graveyard can be equipment as well. So if you have like 2 cards, you can actually break your chain and get 3 cards out there and then use this Endless Maw to actually gain +3. So it's like a 9 damage with Blood Debt. Yeah. So it's a pretty high cost, but I think it's going to be somewhat very flexible card, because it also has like a blue pitch because it's a rare. So you can actually work around that you can use it for a pitch or you can use it for damage, especially for Livia, because she doesn't need to have intimidate that much. But I think it's going to be quite essential for go white Livia. Yeah.
So are you going to be playing brute, Shan? You have 2 brute cards in your favorite.
Yeah, I mean I'm looking at it, but I think it's somewhat too early to tell because there's some more cards that are missing.
Yeah, actually, the Shadow Brute and Brute cards are actually there are quite a few that are still blank in the FAB TCG website. So it'll be interesting to see the full package before we can decide. Yeah, but so far the Brute, I think the main concern for most Brute players is a lot of the red pitch are 6 attack, so the deck might get a bit heavy on red pitch. I think that's where the deck building will have to come in. It'll be interesting to see how they balance the pitch. Because some of them like Endless Maw, it costs 3. But if your deck has a lot of raids, it's gonna be a problem playing it.
Like, you don't have to worry so much because I mean, compared to Rhina is like you as additional cost you have to discard from hand.
Mhm.
Okay, and then you will never see it again.
Mhm.
But for this one, is actually there's a additional ability for you to actually remove cards from your graveyard to actually put up the effect.
Mm.
So it actually implodes a bit. So you can just defend all the way, and then you can just banish and then get the effect from one card. So that's an additional thing that people have to layering for people to actually explore a bit in terms of root mechanics. Yeah, and people need to actually explore the banish and graveyard zone. So like let's say there's a use for it now. Previously, it was just only mechanologists that can actually use the banish zone. But then, surprisingly, if there's a shadow mechanologist, that'll be crazy. If you can actually banish and then play
Boost
it.
and then, you know.
That will be broken if there's ever a shadow mechanologist.
Yeah.
Alright, so what's your last card, Shan? Is it Glisten?
My last card is Glisten.
Glisten.
Going back to the lights.
Going back to the light. This is the last time you're gonna see.
Yeah. So Glisten works pretty well with, I think, her auras, Prism's auras.
Mhm.
So you can actually choose how many auras you can actually put on top, and then they become weapons, right?
Mhm.
Now the keyword here is the weapons you control during your action phase becomes the auras become weapons during the action phase, and Glisten actually tells you that okay, at the end of the beginning of your end phase, remove all +1 counters from weapons you control.
Mhm.
And because of this, the auras actually don't get the tokens don't actually get removed from the auras. It actually stacks there for quite a while. So she can actually hit like a truck. If she has at least 2 auras, I think she can actually protect one. She can actually block with one. If she has more, definitely there's some that she's going to be protecting and just leaving it there just for the attack for the next turn. I think that's going to be really critical in terms of play style. Am I going to block or am I going to hit? But that is something that people are going to be looking out, because if it's Glisten for 1 aura, it's going to be 8 damage hitting you for the next turn, and it's going to be a pretty heavy swing in terms of tempo.
Mm-hmm. And it's also an instant, so it can work a bit like a pummel. So that you hit with your aura for 4, your opponent says no blocks or whatever, and then you just play it like an attack reaction, like poof, give it +4, and then yeah. So unless they have a defense reaction, the Glisten is gonna slap your opponent in the face. Well.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that because of this Glisten instant priority, I think they're going to change the priority to the attacking player, the 10 player. So the comprehensive rules should be up soon. I think they're still trying to proofread it.
It should be up on Friday. I think they said 30th.
Yeah.
So it's meant for the pre-release. So we're most likely going to see it for pre-release.
They mentioned something about giving the defending player priority after a certain.
It's attacking player actually.
Attacking player.
Okay. Yeah, so once the defending player declares the defense, then the attacking player has actually priority for instance. Okay, so that's where the stuff like Blinding Light can actually lower the attack value of the card before the Phantasma, the trigger happens.
Yes,
that's
that
right.
makes sense.
So they were mentioning there's going to be one more, like some crazy card coming, like that can break the rules or something like that, but they haven't reviewed it yet, so I think we'll see it on the day itself. I can't remember what's the name of that.
What was the new light equipment? Maybe.
I think it's the sequence is still there. It's just I think a bit more clearer of the steps.
Yeah, because now there are more instants being played, stuff like that. Yeah.
So when can you use it? When can you not use it? I mean, the wizard players definitely know when they can use it. Before anything resolves, right? Anything resolves, you can actually play an instant. But I think this is going to help out with some of the newer players. Like, okay, when am I supposed to do this? And actually help the more senior players, the more experienced players, when they can use it, and they're gonna have a debate. Hey, I can't use this right now. Like, okay, I can use it. Okay.
And we've been constantly talking about this card for Prism, but actually it's a light instant. So Boltin can actually use it for his weapons as well. So we cannot discount the fact that this can go both ways.
Yeah, you know, on the turn where he wants to have like a huge swing, especially play stuff like. Is it Twinning Blade? Can he run Twinning Blade? Is that sword only?
Twinning Blade.
I don't
I
think
think it's sword only.
So that you can stack
Perfect.
a bunch of counters on one of his axes, or even if you're running Centaurs.
And the good thing about Glisten is it's also a rare. So it's a rare card. They can also have three colors.
Yeah,
So
there are
red,
three
blue, and-
different pitches of the Glisten.
Yeah. So even a blue pitch can actually add two 2+1 counters. I think that's enough for you to actually swing. With both weapons, if you have two, one weapon if you have one. So that's actually quite can make quite a lot of difference in that sense.
A lot of-
Because it triggers Botan's ability as well, because it actually increases the attack can go again.
Right. Enough of the light. I'm sick of it. Okay.
So on to yours. What's yours?
On to mine. I already talked about Phantasmaclasm, so I've left.
Yeah.
I'm done with 2 cards. So my first card is going to be Shadow Puppetry.
Rude boy.
I'm a Rune Boy, but this is a shadow action, so your brutes can use it as well. So Shadow Puppetry is a 0 cost, red pitch. Next attack action card you play this turn gains +1 and go again. And if the attack hits, you look at the top card of your deck and you may banish it, go again. So this card, to me, is similar to your Husk. Your Husk, right? Because this card is a shadow action. So down the road, in Kingdom or whatever other sets, all shadow classes in the future will have access to Shadow Puppetry. So it's a 0 cost, it gives your next attack +1, and most importantly, it gives it go again. And of course, the next key thing about this card is it doesn't require it to be a shadow attack. So you can actually use this on like E-Strike, you can use it on CNC, stuff like that. So CNC 7 go again, that's damn silly. And it
follow up with another CNC.
Follow up by another CNC, and then your opponent just stole. Okay, so E-Strike, same thing. You can just choose E-Strike, you pick the +2 or you draw a card, and then you still get the go again from this. So this card is super good. The only drawback is it blocks for 2, but if it didn't block for 2, this card would be a bit too much already.
But it's already quite a good card. I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
most
why-
people won't want to use it for block.
Yeah, no one will use it to block.
Yeah, I doubt so.
Yeah, so this card enables Chain especially, because I'm definitely a Rune Boy, so I'm interested. I'm biased towards Chain. So this card fits into Chain. It's auto ×2 include for a Blitz deck. So Chain wants to go wide, like super wide, and this card enables him to go wide. So you can use this, go again, use his hero effect, go again. Can you just imagine the amount of times you're gonna be attacking more than an Ira on a single turn, to be honest. They're gonna contest on that white angle.
Then mentions that Chain is actually a shadow mech.
Yeah. Because Shadow Mag, right? Because you have the boost. It works the same way, right? You boost to go again. So you boost by banishing cards from the top of your deck. So Chain does the same thing effectively. So yeah, Chain is a Shadow Mag.
But I think +1, people will just say, hey, +1 is going to be significant, I think, but it's going to be really, really significant. If it's a 5 damage, okay, it's going to +1, 6, okay, you're going to block with 2 cards. But what if it's just a 3 damage and it's going to be a +1 with a go again?
Yeah.
Are you going to block with 2 cards or are you going to block with 1?
Yeah.
And then with the go again, it's really going to be terrible because, like, okay, am I going to block now or going to block later? So do I gonna not block anything and then just see whatever they have next? And then if they're gonna hit me hard, I'm just gonna be fully blocking that. That is gonna be quite a lot of questions there, strategies a lot on that note.
And not to forget that on hit you get to look at the top card of your deck and you may banish it. So it's like a pseudo opt, right? You get to look at the card where you're gonna get next. So if you like it, you leave it there. If you don't like it, you can banish it. And for decks like Chain and Livia at the moment, banishing the card has benefits for both sides, right? So Chain, you banish it. If it has ability to play it from your banish zone, you have to go again, you can immediately play it, right? If it's Livia, where you want to banish a 6 attack card so that you don't die from your own blood debt, you can do it as well.
Yep.
That's how, yeah. So
But I think Chain has more use for this because if you go again, you have enough pitches and you want another attack, a really strong attack, you can banish it and then you can just play it from your banish zone. Yeah. So that's gonna be because once you do the soul shackle, right? Yeah. So I think that's gonna work well with that.
Right, guys, there's no lucky draw, guys. Stop asking for lucky draw. Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Need more,
Today
need more likes.
we're just gonna see how many we have. We have 16 now. 16 watching.
That's quite a good number.
Mhm.
Okay, so my last card, and this card woke me, I had to read this card 7 times in the morning to make sure I got it right. So this is Soul Reaping. It costs 6, right? It costs 6. But this is actually an illusionist card because that 6 is a liar. Okay. So it's a legendary chain specialization. So you can only have 1 in the deck. Because it's that good. If you gave me 2, I'll be so happy. But you can only have 1 in the deck. Okay. So what it says is you may banish 1 or more cards from your hand rather than paying its cost. So that 6 is a pure lie. You are never going to pay 6 for this card, right? So you banish it to play it for free, effectively. Okay? And if you were to banish a card that has Blood Debt on it, you actually gain a resource. So you actually gain resources for playing this card. It's like the other way around. It's like topsy-turvy. So if let's say your whole hand, you have 4 cards, right? And let's say this is your arsenal. We talk about like best case scenario. You have 4 cards in hand, and let's say all 4 cards have Blood Debt and can be played from banish. Let's say you just decide to like, okay, I'm gonna play Soul Reaping from arsenal, I banish all 4. You gain 4 resources. And then you get to play all those 4 from your banish anyway. Okay? So this card is to me the linchpin for chain. But the main drawback is that it cannot be played from banish. So if you were to banish it from your soul shackles, bye bye, you only got 1 in the deck, it's gone. So that's where the gamble comes in. But it's worth the gamble. I read the card in the morning like 7 AM and like, good man. Oh, banish. Oh wait, you just banish 1 card, you play it for free.
Yeah, I think that's why it's a legendary one-off. If 3-off would be pretty
It's too strong already.
We're gonna see it in play a lot in I would say draft because it's a rare card. It's not M.
Oh,
whatever.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. And if people and in draft, I would say that Soul Reaping against a light hero, people are gonna play warriors, gonna draft warriors, gonna draft light. I think this one is gonna be really a strong one.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have 1, but then it's gonna attacking a hero with 1 or more cards in their soul. Yes, go again.
The last line is a cherry on top. If you are fighting a light hero with a soul.
So you pay this for free, and then you can actually swing them back with a weapon. So it's like, okay, what are they gonna do? Yeah, it's gonna turn the tempo quite a bit as well for draft.
And this is gonna be a fun card. I definitely want it. I want this in foil. I want the whole thing in foil. Yeah, so that's mainly our cards that we've decided to bring up for today. So, what are your first core foils you guys are hoping to pull? What do you hope to pull from your pre-release event? This
Prism legendary for sure. Whatever it is.
I just want my tokens, man.
Okay, I was talking about this pre-stream. Yeah, I was talking about this pre-stream that I feel I might be able to predict roughly what the Fable card will be or can do. And Ruben has his own idea as well, right? So Ruben, would like to share your idea because we will not see the Fable until the day itself when someone pulls it, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are not gonna see a spoiler for it. So this is the fun part, right? Speculation. So Ruben, what do you think the Fable is gonna
I
be?
foresee it's gonna be either a light or shadow, talent. I don't know whether it'll be like a generic resource gem, but probably one of those, and probably lets you soul charge or have some banish effect. So probably something to that light. I'm not sure what they will do, but then again, could let's throw us off with another that's pure generic gem. So yeah, but for now, I think it's gonna be either a light or shadow affiliated card. Yeah.
Shan, what do you think?
I feel it's for Prism. Because Prism right now, she has a bit of difficulty getting her auras out, right? Let me just... Alright. So she has this inability to create spectral shields. Okay, so she's like very few cards that can do spectral shields. She needs to banish a card in order to actually do it. But I think that Fable for her can actually create like a spectral shield when you pitch it. I mean, yeah, that's the
so it's kind of like
one.
a counter to Dark Knight shot.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm down for that. I'll definitely want to open one now that you put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, because you pitch it and then she needs a lot of pitches.
If you pitch to get a one of
Spectre
her shields, right? It's actually huge because if it pictures of blue, that's one free attack already you get for
Yeah.
4. So
It's gonna blow up if it actually happens. I'm calling it right now, guys.
Okay. I give your activity to do. Okay. So all of you go to the FAB. Whoever's interested, I'm going to link it in the chat. Go to the FAB TCG resource gallery for all the cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this gallery, you can see all the different cards that have been reviewed so far, from the spoilers and whatnot, right? Okay. So if you look at Illusionist, okay, Illusionist at the top, there's one blank, and that is most likely going to be her legendary. Okay, that's the speculation. That's most likely her legendary. Okay, if you scroll down to like generic Illusionist, light version, non-prism, there's another blank, which I predict is going to be the mentor, because the mentor has not been slotted in yet as well.
But the mentor, they said there's gonna be in Blitz, the Blitz decks only. So
Yeah, so that's the part where I'm a bit unsure. So okay, never mind. So we leave it as that first. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing that is not on this website, not on this page, is actually the breakdown of the number of cards in this game for Monarch. Okay. So if you look at tokens, right, there's gonna be 18 tokens. I went to check. There's 18 tokens in this set. Okay, 18. I'm going to go for wild speculation here. I hope I'm right. There's 18 tokens. 18 tokens.
so how many out now?
So 8 of them are heroes, correct?
Okay.
Because young and old, 8 are heroes.
Okay,
You
left
have
10,
you have 5 weapons because Bolton has 2.
left
So
5.
that's 13, that's 5. You have the 2 demons, so left
Okay.
3.
Mhm.
You have your soul shackles.
Mhm.
And then you have the prism, the shield.
Yep.
So there's 1 token not shown yet. There's 1 token not. So if you were to scroll all the way down to the generic area of the gallery,
The last slot.
so the last slot, right, is blank, and it's only 1 card. There's no pitch value. It's only 1 card. Okay, and I went to check all the different classes and the different subcategories. The tokens are always at the bottom. So we have 1 generic token missing.
Token or Fable?
I predict it's the token, because they put the legendary. They put the rarity from top to bottom.
yes.
So if you scroll up to the generic, the first slot is blank, next to Stubby Hammer.
Okay.
So my prediction is this is gonna be a generic Fable that will create a token. But what is that token? That's the key question. Will it be light or will it be dark? Because it wouldn't make sense if it's generic, right? So I'm really curious if what kind of token. I'm very sure it's gonna be a token. The Fable is gonna create a token.
I just wonder whether there's a possibility where they throw a curveball and it's actually both. Like a card you can play either as a light or shadow. That's another possibility.
Yeah, originally I was predicting like a yin yang kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like a double-sided card.
It
be
could be
double-sided.
double-sided or like the same front, but then they have like the rules text and all that saying you play it as a light, you get this. Play as a shadow, you get that. That could happen.
But it can also be a crack bobble, right?
Yeah, that's what the other. So maybe I'm way over my head speculating. I hope it's not a crack bubble. That would be so boring. But
Probably it would be because you can't play draft without
for
crack
draft,
bubbles.
right?
Yeah.
That might.
Oh yeah, there is crap more.
But I think that's a quite a good speculation, because if you want to have a generic Fable, right, then you have like, okay, you can either be light or dark, you can choose either one, you pitch it in order to get it. But the thing is that when you pitch it, I mean, it's double-sided. I mean, no one plays with clear sleeves, so I think it's still fine, but it's gonna be hard to handle because it's like double-sided.
So MTG does this, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
so they have like
double-sided.
a check card for double-sided. And I think that might make sense for something like this, especially if it's cold fall, you can imagine.
Yin yang.
Not everyone will be comfortable shuffling,
Yeah.
shuffling like $1,000 in their deck.
Okay, but I still think it's gonna be a generic Fable. I think it's gonna be generic.
We'll find out on Friday when
Yes.
I open and let you guys know what the Fable is.
You mean all of us will open? I think everyone here on
yeah,
chat.
yeah.
Everyone
think-
here.
Everyone on here on chat will get
Yeah.
one Fable at least.
Everyone will get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't need a lucky draw. So you just open and then
The lucky draw is that because you watch your karma points, your feng shui will go up. Then you will get your Fable. Or your Kofoy. Or whatever card you want. Yeah. That'll be a very exciting day. This weekend is going to be a very exciting weekend.
I just hope I have like at least maybe 2 cold foils after this weekend.
I did not tell my wife lah, but I'm more excited about this weekend than my wedding. I think she cannot hear me. I hope she's not watching.
Maybe she's on the live stream.
Yeah, she's on the
right
live
now.
stream. Later she's gonna comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna cut your power supply.
So without saying, I'm pretty sure Ruben is gonna be building a prism once Monarch comes out. Right?
Yeah, I think
I'm I'm gonna mess around with the shadows, man.
We have to also remember that Monarch does not revolve around these 4 classes. So we have generics that can support all the previous 8 classes as well.
Yeah.
There are not many stuff that stands out to me, but maybe some notable mentions could be like Stick Horizon. Right?
Mhm.
Stick Horizon is actually a decent.
I think it's the rally the rear guard, the one that actually changes a lot of mechanics, because you can play it as a generic attack action or you can play it as an instant. Yeah, so it's a dual. Okay, more than dual because you can use it for many other things, but you can use it for instant as well.
Yeah, I think some other interesting stuff for constructed or blitz, like for draft, like cards like the frontline scout, it looks very innocuous, but 0 for 3, and if it's an Arsenal go again, look at your opponent's hand. I think that's actually pretty powerful in limited. And who knows, maybe constructed it may be decent.
Then it's
If they
saying
go again.
then
Stuff like that.
Then it's talking about sleep darts. So if you sleep dart the Levia, the Levia toh. If the Levia has like 7 or 8 blood depth cards in her banish, you sleep dart her one time, toh. Or what's the other guardian card that can blank the hero power?
Crippling Crush?
No.
The Cartilage Crush. No.
There's one of
Cartilage
it
Crush.
can like
It's a
blank,
common.
yeah, you can blank the hero power and then Levia just dies from blood.
Oh, but then there's also a generic action card, attack action card, Frontline Scout. You may look at the defending
Yeah,
heroes
that's
card.
the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty. I think that's pretty good.
It's gonna be really, really good in draft. I think people are gonna use it. Yeah.
Right. We are about an hour in, so I think that's about I think we've pretty much covered all we've wanted to say for Monarch attack.
Yeah. It's very
Yeah.
difficult to trigger Eclipse compared to Doomsday. I feel that.
I really wish those I call them the summons. I wish they were a bit more powerful. I feel
Crush Confidence.
Crush
Yeah.
Confidence. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one.
So thanks, Marco.
A lot of my Warcraft friends. Okay, so before we end things off, we like to bring up this I might not get. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, he noticed you.
I notice everybody. Just not yet.
Yeah.
Alright, so before we end things off here, we would like to do a shout out to Imaginarium, our favorite store, Imaginarium. So Imaginarium, they are holding a Chun-Li charity event coming this 22nd of May 2021. So what is this Chun-Li event, you ask? So this Imaginarium is hosting this charity event where we are of course going to be playing Flesh and Blood. There's going to be prizes, entry fees. There are different tiers of donation amounts that you can get into.
Yeah.
So depending on how much you donate, you can get different stuff like card sleeves, deck boxes, and whatnot. Playmats. And I think got a calendar of team wearing Chun-Li costume or something like that. Yeah, so it's going to be very exciting. So this charity event is going to be a Discord online tournament. So there's no limit. So it's free for every one of you to join. So what's going to
It's free to the extent that you're gonna just donate. The idea is just to donate.
Yeah, it's all for a good cause.
It's all for a good cause.
Yep.
Just to socialize, get to know more people.
So the top player will actually have his or her own I would say charity that he or she will actually put all the money into it.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's something that's good. If you have some charities that you know, you can actually share with us as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
put
at
down in
least
the comments like what charity you support or you like to have more awareness to that maybe might not be very well known. So if you have any charities you like to help out, just join the event. Even if you don't want to play the event, you can just still you can
Yep.
still donate any amount you want.
Hmm.
And if I'm wrong, there's even a lucky draw. Even if you just is it? Let me double check.
Yeah, I believe there's
Yeah,
a tier for
there's
that.
a eligible for lucky draw prizes. So even if you donate at a minimum of $20,
Mhm.
eligible for lucky draws. I'm gonna link the Discord page for the Imaginarium into the chat,
Mhm.
and all the details are actually pinned inside there. There's actually a channel for the charity event.
Mm.
So whoever is interested in donating, helping out, playing, and whatever, you can just head over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, lucky draw. That's right. You want lucky draw,
Yeah.
right? Go
So
to
if I remember correctly, the top 2 tiers for the donations, if you happen to donate the amount, I think $800,
Mhm.
will enable you to get your sleeves, your packs, and stuff like that, and you will still be eligible for Monarch Alpha box,
Mhm.
not case, box.
So-
Okay, and then it's only until the end of the month. Where the price will be at 800 because I think price is increasing.
Yeah.
The second tier will be about 300. You get a Monarch Unlimited box.
Yep.
Okay, so I think these are. I mean, please pay accordingly to your own
Means.
disposable.
Your
Yeah.
financial stability,
Yeah.
comfortability.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it, because end of the day it's still charity. Don't make
Yeah.
yourself into a charity.
Yeah.
So help where you can. There's no obligation.
Yeah.
It's just a very nice cause that I think that Imaginarium is doing.
Mm.
I wish to see more of it, and maybe who knows, maybe we can do something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Right.
So take a look at Imaginarium, give them a shout out. The Discord link is in the chat. Go join them. Look out for the charity event tab all the way to the bottom. Yep. The TNC and everything are all there. So it's very transparent.
Yep.
So yeah. So come out, have fun, meet new people, and just play Flesh and Blood. And best of all,
Yeah,
it's 22nd May. So we
I
really
think they're
have...
changing it to 23rd as well.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I think it's a
yeah,
Sunday.
it might be changing for whoever stayed watching us for our first stream ever. It's quite fun. We can do something in the future again. Let me know what we can improve on, what you like, what other topics we can cover, or any other guests you want me to bring up. So just let me know, and then hopefully we can make this into a thing. And
Yeah,
maybe next time down the road we can get our own kingdom spoiler or whatnot.
Yeah, I hope so. That would be amazing. Maybe one for each of us.
Yeah, man. So the website I already added in there.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram.
Still pretty new, still putting up content. Waiting for Monarch. You'll see a lot of box openings there for sure.
Yeah. So check out Ruben's channel and Instagram as well. And thank you all for supporting our first ever stream. And good night.
Yeah, so like and subscribe.
Like
Okay.
and whatever lah. This
It's
the.
below.
All right. Good night, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, see you.
See y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, we're done.